really awesome training that's come to us. And well, Vaughn volunteered actually. So Vaughn Stocking, for those that don't know, he's been with us from the beginning in this amazing project, many, many years that we've been working together. And Vaughn, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about Darren and who he is and why you picked this subject for today?
Well, how many of you remember TPN, the People's Network, otherwise known as the Success Channel, started back in 1994 and went for about 5 years before they figured out that only about 4% of the American public is really that interested in personal development, enough to get a satellite dish and receive a box with a dish in it and have to assemble it together and put it up on your roof and aim at the right satellite and all that. And they had some of the best. They had about 80 of the best teachers, leaders, speakers, authors, Jim Rohn, Brian Tracy, Mark Victor Hansen, about 80 of them with people, names you'd probably recognize. They were the speakers on this, and it was just satellite in your living room, being able to enjoy those kind of people. And then they would also do twice or three times a year, they would do a big event in Dallas, Texas, right at the airport, one of the hotels, and we'd have 3,000 people there and so on. But it was built as a network marketing style business. And Darren Hardy was the very top of that. And he had earned that because of his leadership ability. Well, Darren at that point didn't have the kind of internet that we have now, and he didn't have the Facebook groups and all those kind of things. So he was sending out newsletters by email, and he had a list of 100,000 people. And he would do these series every year end. He'd do one about preparing for the new year, things like that. And I was the proofreader and editor for that. And so I got well acquainted with him, worked with him there for quite some time. And another partner he had, that some of you might know, Scott Kufis, they worked together for a while and did some Y2K stuff. Remember the year 2000, all the fear about that, which never happened. And anyway, as Darren went on to do other things, because TPN was sold to another company that's since changed its name and its style, ownership. But Darren went on to become the publisher of Success Magazine, done a lot of things like that. And he's taught all over the world. He's a mentor to a lot of CEOs, does those. But every morning, 5 days a week, he offers a what he calls Darren Daily. And it's anywhere from 3 to 6 or 7 minutes long. And it's some topic, hint for the day, suggestion for this week, and life improvement, business improvement. And that's been going on for roughly 7 years now, I think. And it's free of charge, and you can get onto it. We'll put the link in the chat at the end here. But that's Darren. And a week ago Monday, he put up this one about the 3 questions. And it struck me and some other people I work with so hard that we suggested it to Jeremy, and he decided to make it the topic of today.
All right, thanks, Vaughn. So yes, so it's all about making a great impression on a new job or client relationship. So we're going to do this in 2 parts, okay? So the first part of this is it's going to be just for normal, like if you were applying for a job or traditional business kind of thing. And then we're going to adapt it to what we do with networking, right? With relationship marketing, as we like to call it. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into this. So basically, this is the idea. Let's imagine that you're starting a new job or a promotion, okay? Or you're beginning a new relationship with a dream client if you owned a business or something, right? That's thrilling yet unnerving, okay? And the idea here is that we want to make an excellent impression, right? So we're going to ask, there's 3 questions, okay? 3 questions that are going to make us stand out. We're going to win them over, and we're going to positively influence the relationship from that point forward. Okay, right from the get-go, we want to do these three questions, right? Okay, so Vaughn, take it away.
All right. This is assuming you're going after a job, and you say to the new boss or hiring manager, whoever it is, and you just tell them, I know I'm here to do a job, and I'll do everything I can to fill my job description, but I also want to be an added resource for you. So you ask them, what are your main responsibilities? What would be the best thing I could do to contribute to your success?
Right. So let's assume that Jeremy, I'm the hiring person, right? So I'm hiring Vaughn. Okay.
Mhm.
And so Vaughn just asked me that question. What are the main responsibilities and what would be the best thing I could do to contribute to your success? So maybe I would say, oh, wow. Well, okay, let's see. Our bottom line is we're trying to reduce cost, right? We're trying to eliminate some waste, right? We're trying to, figure out a way to just be more efficient, right? So anything you could do, Vaughn, that would contribute to that towards reducing waste or reducing, people wasting time and being a little bit more efficient.
Well, that's what I'm going to write down. See, I've got a journal here. I've got my passion planner, and I'm going to write in there what my manager, boss says back to me. And I tell him, this is too important for me to forget. And I wait for him to say yes. He knows, he sees me writing it down. He knows that I think it's really important. And so, do you have a journal? I'm asking you here on the call right now. I hope you're writing these things down, or would write this down for this situation if you were in it right now.
Yeah. So me as a hiring manager, right? I'm thinking, oh wow, Ron, look at him. He really cares about going the extra mile, right? He really cares about going above and beyond. And not only that, he's writing it down, right? He wants to know exactly what it is that's our biggest concern, and he wants to make sure that gets taken care of. And he's writing it down so he doesn't forget. Wow, I'm impressed. Okay, I'm impressed. But now we go to question number two.
So, second question is, I tell him I want to ensure you're glad that I joined this team 1 to 3 months from now, just as much as you are today. So what must I always do and what must I never do so that you're glad I'm on this team? And then I would write that one down too. And he would see me writing it down, or she, and then, either way. But then I would check in monthly with that boss for more feedback. And I would tell him, I promise not to get defensive. I'm just eager to learn so I can do a good job.
Okay, so here's me as the hiring manager again, right? And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, Vaughn is now, not only is he willing to go above and beyond, okay, but he also wants to know like what else that he can do and then not do, right? Specifically, because maybe as a boss, I've had problems with employees in the past, right? Maybe I've had people that show up to work late, or where when they're supposed to be on a project, they're looking at Facebook or whatever, right? They're on their phones watching TikTok videos or whatever it is. And so, maybe I could suggest something like that. Like, oh, when you're at work, I expect you to always be, working on projects related to work and not wasting time doing other things, or, that, or whatever it is, right? Something I could tell him. And then he's going to write it down again, and then not just forget about it, right? It's not just lip service. It's not just, oh, okay, yeah, you know, he told me that, and I'll try and do it. But follow up on a monthly basis and ask, hey, how am I doing? Have you noticed that I'm doing a good job with that? Have you noticed that I'm on task, or I've been avoiding these things that you were concerned about? Wow, right? I'm going to be impressed. I'm going to be like, okay, yeah, Vaughn is an ideal employee, right? Because he's concerned about these things. He's bringing it up from the beginning. He's not, avoiding it or beating around the bush. He's like, hey, let's make this happen. So then we go to question three.
And here's one that is really the above and beyond. What job or task is really important to our group success, but nobody else wants to do it? And this one, when you take on that, you volunteer to take it on and you do it with excellence and a positive attitude, this is going to take you on the 1 to 10 scale. Boss, this company like no one else because you've done that extra mile.
So as a boss, again, right? Baban is offered to take on something nobody else wants to do. So it's not, as a boss, I've seen this before, right? Where the boss is like, okay, we have this task, right? Any volunteers? And everyone's kind of like, and then you have to assign it, right? Okay, well, hey, would you do it, right? So and so, could you take care of it? And then they're kind of like, okay, that's fine. But when you volunteer for it right from the get-go, you're saying, hey, I'll take it on, I'll do it. Okay. Wow. Like it says here, that takes you, on a 1 to 10 scale, you're a 13. You're like, okay, this boss is super happy that they got you, and you're going to be like, okay, the superstar, right? And that will take you to the next level. It will make you stand out. You will be first in line for promotions. You will be first in line for opportunities, because they know they can depend on you, and that you're not scared to take on the difficult tasks, right? All right, so now let's adjust. Let's switch gears towards the self-employed. Okay, so this is for somebody that maybe you are a business owner, but more specifically in networking, right? You're building a team, and you're recruiting. Okay, you're recruiting. So in this case, here's the interesting thing that we have to. It's kind of a mind shift here, right? But who is your boss when you are a networker? When you are in relationship marketing, who is your boss at that point? It's your customers, right? It's your team, right? You don't really think of it that way, but if we can have that attitude that the person I'm recruiting, the customer I'm trying to sell to or get involved in my project, they are the boss, right? They're the ones I need to impress. Okay. So it's an opposite thing. Instead of, oh, I'm recruiting, so I'm the boss, I'm the manager of this team and this group, and so they need to do what I tell them to do. No, it's opposite, right? It's the opposite mindset. It's now I'm going to be a servant leader. I am here to serve you as my new prospect, as my new, whatever we call them, right? Affiliate or distributor or whatever. They're the boss now, right? And I'm here to serve them. I'm here to help them. I'm here to impress them so that they'll want to be on my team and be part of my team, and grow and do all the things. Okay. So now we're going to switch it up and treat it like this. So let's imagine that I'm recruiting Vaughn. Okay. So Vaughn is my new prospect. I'm inviting him into Project Next. Okay. And so, we're talking and everything. I tell him, hey, Vaughn, I'm here to be a resource and a mentor, of course. Okay. But in addition to that, I want to be an added resource, right? So, what are your main goals? And what can I do as your sponsor to go above and beyond, right? Vaughn, what would you say at that point?
Well, I appreciate that nobody's ever asked me what I wanted. They try to sell me something that they think I ought to want. And that, you know how that usually goes. A low percentage ever say yes to that. But if I feel that you're really interested in me and finding out what I want, which is to take care of my family, um, build a future, get out of debt, all these things, I have specific things I want, and I'm happy to tell you what they are, and I'm hoping you're writing them down.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So that's what I do. So I then write them down. Okay. And then I also ask, so what kind of connections or resources could help you achieve your goals, right? Like, what can I offer you? Who can I put you in touch with? What stuff do you need? Do you need videos? Do you need PDF documents? Do you need, trainings? What can I provide for you? Right. And then I write it all down and see answers. And then the key thing is follow through. Right. So I'm going to follow through with that, and in the next few days, I'm going to provide all that information. I'm going to provide them, the videos and the trainings and whatever it is. Okay. And then I'm going to ask the second question, right? Which is, okay, I want to ensure you're happy that we're working together. So even months from now, right? It's not enough to just onboard, right? I'm not just onboarding Vaughn. I'm not just providing him with all the stuff and teaching him, hey, here's how you log into your back office. Here's how you do all these things. Here's how you set up your pay system to get your commission. Of course, I onboard and I get him going in the beginning, but then months from now, what else, right? What must I always or never do months from now that would keep you happy? What do you think, Vaughn?
Well, and my experience with being an entrepreneur myself or working with other entrepreneurs is sometimes they forget. Sometimes it gets to be how much can I make and how quick can I make it? And you've seen that in many kinds of businesses, especially networking has that reputation to some extent. But the big thing I think I'd want is consistency. I'd want to know that you're really there. You're really letting me know about the trainings. You're really supporting me. You're still curious about who I am and what I want. Um, and and responding to that as I change and grow, as I develop leadership or rank or achievement, I'd want to know that you care about that. I've seen a lot of examples where that just didn't continue to happen. They got off on how many other people can I sponsor, recruit, enroll, whatever verb we use. So that's it. I hope you're writing that down.
Yeah. So I'm writing that down. I got my notepad, right? Got my notepad here. I'm writing that down and I repeat it back. Okay. So that's the important thing. I repeat. Okay. So Juan, so I'm writing this down. So you would like to make sure I'm still involved and I'm still following up with you. I'm still checking in, at least on a monthly basis to see how you're doing, see if need help with your next rank advancement, whatever it is, right? And working on your goals and seeing what else you might need. If there's something going on that I can help you with, that kind of stuff. Okay, so I'm writing it down, and then we say, let's check in monthly for feedback and improvement. Right? You actually set that goal. You set that down, set that up on the calendar. Hey, a month from now, let's check in and let's just see if I've been providing you with enough information, with everything you need, and just have that be an ongoing calendar appointment, right? That you can have that conversation. Just think, whatever it is, 30 minutes and a month to sit down with your people and see how they're doing, make sure everything's going great. Then, of course, we take that third question, right, and we adapt it for the same situation. And we say, okay, Vaughn, what important task needs doing, but no one wants to tackle it? For example, maybe some bad experiences in the past that we could address, or whatever. What would you like to see addressed specifically as we work together?
I would like to see that you show that you're serious and that you help me lead my people and help me find out about them. One of my friends a long time ago, he said, do you know what color the carpet is in your team, in their homes? Because have you been to their homes? Do you know who they are? Have you invited them to your home? Um, do you really know them? I would like to see that you do that. And one of the things that never gets done, it seems, is the continuity of the leadership or the announcements about new things, and paying attention to the the minority who are struggling. And I know we've talked before about the various kinds of people, the sower and the seed we talked about here last week or the week before, and that is something that happens in human nature. And I would like to see you solve that problem.
Wonderful. Awesome. Okay, so I'm writing that down too, right? Got it on my notepad. I am volunteering to get that done. I am committing right now to make sure, right, that you're getting all the information you need, that that you're not going to feel abandoned in any shape or form. And I am. I'm gonna when we meet, we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk about, okay, how's your spouse doing? How's your kids doing? When are your birthdays? Right? All those things, right? So you can celebrate birthdays together, and another thing, hey, where are you going on vacation this summer? All those different kinds of things. Actually get to know Vaughn and any other prospect that I bring on, and we're going to follow up. We're going to have it written down. And what's that going to do? Vaughn is now going to be like, wow, this is the best sponsor I've ever had, right? And I'll just tell you my own personal journey. When I first got involved in this many years ago, 20 plus years ago, my first company ever was Amway. It was through Quickstar, right? Quickstar was part of Amway. And my sponsor, nice lady in my apartment complex, she was super nice, right? But she dropped me like you wouldn't believe. She got me involved. She said, "Okay, here's how you sign up. Here's the paperwork. Turn it in." And then I never heard from her again, ever. Right? And that was my big thing for me. I was like, "Whoa, I don't have a mentor. I don't have anybody training me. I don't have anybody giving me information. I had to figure it out on my own for so many years because of that. Right? It was just a true thing where the leaders that I had, the people who invited me, they didn't know what they were doing either. And so, so I wasted good 10, 15 years of just trying to struggle and figure it out and scramble. Whereas the moment I got an actual true mentor, a leader that actually followed up with me and took care of me and everything, that's when within a year and a half, I was making good money in networking. It was like night and day difference just because I had somebody that was there and provided those resources. So I agree with Vaughn. That is one of the things that will take you from, a 5 to a 13. Okay. So in conclusion, here are the things that we need to do. We need to be asking these thoughtful questions and delivering on them to make us stand out, right? Because winning relationships isn't about being loud or flashy. It's about being genuine, committed, right? And adding value consistently. Okay. The word consistent. So with that, any final thoughts, Vaughn?
Let's recommend to everybody that you get on, at least you look at, you're welcome to get onto the darrendaily.com. Just look that up online. It's easy. And I'm putting it in the chat right now.
Yeah, we'll put it in the chat. We'll also put it in the other channels, from Telegram to the Messenger and WhatsApp. So watch for them there. Watch for the link. You guys can sign up. Again, it's free, and it's just daily stuff that Darren Hardy sends out, and it's awesome. If you just take 5 minutes a day to listen to Darren, it will be a life changer. So,
and I'll tell you two things I've discovered watching over the years and sharing with many other friends. Once or twice a week, he hits a real home run. Some of them are just kind of good, but you just say okay and you move on. And the other thing is he lets them expire after 72 hours. So if the point of regularity, getting on there and being ready to listen every morning, if you want to see it while it's fresh, maybe the day after. But I highly recommend that you at least give it a try and see how it works well for you.
yeah,
It's worked well for us.
awesome. Thanks, Vaughn. With that, I actually do have to go. I've got another appointment right now, so I'm sorry for those that might have still had questions or whatever. Please just send a personal message or a direct message, and we'll get your questions answered. But with that, we'll let you get back to your Saturdays. Thanks so much for joining us today. Hopefully that was helpful, and we'll get you that link in the chat, and hopefully by this time next week, we'll have some amazing updates for all of you. Okay, so talk to you soon.
Super.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you all.